In this video, I'm going to answer the most important question. That is, how do you save your marriage with limited or no contact? Probably your wife has left you, and once she left you, she has blocked you on all channels. And right now, you don't know how to connect with her. And you feel that because you can't connect with her, you cannot save your marriage. And in this video, I'm going to prove you wrong. Continue to watch this video. Hi, Coach Val here, and I help men to create the marriage of their dreams. In this video, I have divided the whole video into two parts. The first part, I'm going to talk about why your wife has blocked you on all channels, why there is no contact between you and your wife. And I'm going to burst some of the myths so that you can see the truth. And in the second part, we are going to look at what can you do to connect with your wife. So let us jump in and understand the first part. The first part is why your wife has blocked you. There are three things I want you to introspect, and before we get into these three things, the first thing you got to understand is that you got to look at this whole thing from a whole new perspective. And what I mean by whole new perspective, the perspective that many of us have when we are going through a very difficult phase in our marriage is of a perspective of a victim. We feel that our partner is being unfair and the partner doesn't understand us. And if you look at it from that perspective, obviously your wife will be wrong and you will never be able to bring back love. Not only in this marriage, but even if you get married once again. So I want you to look at this whole thing from a whole new perspective of I want to understand. I want to understand the other side. I want to understand what is really happening to my wife. With that understanding, you will be able to transform your marriage. So let us jump in and let us look at the first thing. Why? There are three reasons why your wife could have blocked you, and there is no contact between you and your wife. The first one is basically that your wife is hurt. Your wife is hurt. Now, when I say this, I don't mean that you're not hurt. You're also hurt, because a relationship is always both sides. That means if I am hurt in the relationship, the other person is also hurt. The fact that many a times I'm not able to understand how the other person is hurt. The truth is every action has equal and opposite reaction. So the first reason why your wife has blocked you is because she's hurt, just the way you are hurt. And the second reason, let us jump into the second reason and understand why she has blocked you is because of the fear. So hurt and fear are interconnected. On one side, she is hurt, and that's why she has blocked you. And on the other side, she's scared of getting hurt. She's scared of getting hurt. And why your wife is, what are the things that have hurt your wife and why she is scared of getting hurt again? You'll only be able to understand this once you get into the other side, once you look at the situation from her perspective. The third thing that's very important for you to understand why your wife there's no contact between you and your wife is because of the disconnect that you're having. Let me jump in and understand what is the meaning of the word disconnect that you're having. See, what's happening in your marriage at this moment is it's not that your wife has left you and she blocked you and kept you blocked for the rest of her life, or for the last 7 months she has blocked you continuously. So this is what happens when a woman is angry, upset, hurt. Generally she blocks the man. Now when she unblocks, and then there is a conversation that happens, and that conversation doesn't lead anywhere except to fight and argument. So I want you to introspect and see, if you're blocked, how the conversation that you had with your wife. Don't look at who was right, who is wrong, why she doesn't want to understand. Don't look at it from that perspective. Have a holistic perspective of looking at your conversation. Look at your conversation as a dance. So your wife hasn't been dancing with you for some time, and then you invited your wife to start dancing with you. And when you started dancing, because both of you don't know how to dance in a connecting way when you're stressed out, when you're not stressed out, feeling loved, you know how to dance with your partner. Everybody knows that. You don't have to do anything. That's why a marriage was awesome at the beginning of at the initial stage. But we don't know how to dance with each other. In other words, how to converse with each other when we are feeling hurt. And because of that, during that dance that you had, when your wife unblocked you, you stepped on your wife's feet. She stepped on your feet, and both of you are hurt. And what happens to our brain is our brain cannot see how the other person is hurt from our behavior. We can only see how we are hurt from our partner's behavior. And for that reason, she's scared of getting connected with you again, because it's hurtful to have one more fight, one more argument. And she thinks that that fight and argument has only happened because of you. So these are 3 reasons why your wife has blocked you. There is a hurt of the past, there's a fear of getting hurt again, and that disconnecting conversation that you had during when you were blocked. Now, what can you do? Let us jump in and understand that. The first thing that you got to do is, during this situation, is you got to learn. And what do you need to learn? The things that you need to learn are basically 3 things. The first one, and the whole thing is encompassed under relationship science. Basically, you got to learn relationship science. So what are the 3 things that you got to learn under relationship science? The first one is fundamentals of what happens in a marriage, the science behind your marriage. Like, what are the enemies of marriage? Why there is a disconnect that happens? What are the stages that people go through in a marriage, and why people behave the way they do? And these things are scientific, based on the research that is done on thousands and thousands of couples. These relationship science experts have come to a conclusion. So the first thing you got to learn. The one way you can learn is buy some books. The second way you can learn is attend some courses. And if you are interested, then I invite you to attend a free class, free masterclass. It's a live masterclass that I do. Just click the link that you see on the screen. Click on that link, sign up for this masterclass, and attend the masterclass, where I'll give you an overall view of where your marriage is and how you can bring back love through all this struggle that you're going through. All right. So the first thing is to learn. The second thing is you got to prepare. So what do I mean by prepare? So when you are learning, you realize 3 things. I forgot to mention it earlier. When you're learning, you're going to realize 3 things. The first thing that you're going to realize or learn is the dynamics behind relationship. You're going to understand that why you are having fights and arguments, why there were disconnects. They are beyond what your wife is doing, what you're doing, what your wife thinks. They're beyond that. There's a pattern. The second thing you're going to understand is you're going to understand your and your wife's personality type. Because just the way we are when we are stressed out, listen to the words, just the way we are when we are stressed out or feeling unloved, makes our wife feel unloved or stressed out. All right. So it is different for different people. So when I understand the personality type of my personality type and my partner's personality type, I will be in a position to meet my wife again, because I know the pattern. I know how to avoid them. And the third thing I got to understand is, how do I communicate with my wife in this stressful situation? Because you can go and visit your wife. It's not a big deal. I'm going to talk about it later. But you're going to tell me, Val, the last time when I visited her, she called the police. So, but the last time you were not the same person. This time you're not the same person. So, these are the 3 things you got to learn to communicate. So the second thing is prepare. The first thing is learn. The second thing is prepare. In the community of our awesome husbands, we have a community of more than 500 people at this moment. In this community of awesome husbands, there are 2 things consistently happen. The first thing is learning relationship science. And the second thing is preparing. That means doing a lot of role plays with other men, understanding, oh, this is what my wife feels, this is the way I'm supposed to talk. That's the second thing, is a prepare. And the third thing is you just show up. That's it. Show up. And where are you going to show up? anywhere possible. And what is the meaning of show up? It is not about showing, but showing up. If you have really gone through the learning, if you have really prepared yourself, if you have really understood the deeper meaning of what she is going through, then you are going to be a totally different person. When a cricketer prepares himself, he learns the different strokes and he prepares himself and he goes there, he doesn't put up a show. He's just himself. And because he has gone through the learning, gone through the preparation, gone through the coaching, the best comes out. So all that you have to do is show up. Where can you show up? If you are not blocked, you can show up on the phone. Just the way you talk, your wife will get an experience of there is a shift in the marriage. Just the way you respond to our questions, your wife will get a sense that there's a shift in you. The third way is, like, I remember one of our awesome husbands. He was separated for 18 months. He was married for 25 years. He was separated for 18 months, and for the first 9 months of that separation, he was blocked. And when his wife unblocked him, he was a totally different human being. And when I say different, he was his best version. The same person he was when he got married to her. And what happened to her? Every action has equal and opposite reaction. She shifted. She started connecting with him. So showing up, you can do it anywhere. When she unblocks you, you show up. When you can go to her house and show up. Because just because the last time she called the police, she's not going to call the police this time, because you know exactly how do you connect at this particular situation. The third way you can show up is maybe at our office. The fourth way, if the situation is really worse, the fourth way to show up is in the court. I remember one of our awesome husbands sharing this with us. He said he met his wife after 1 or 1.5 years, and the place he met was in the court. So they were sent for counseling session, and his wife behaved just the way she would behave, like criticizing and talking about the past. But the way he responded was actually different. He was calm. He chose his words, what he wanted to say. He listened. He understood. He empathized. And because of that, the counselor himself told her and him that I've never met somebody like you, a husband like you, in this particular situation, a situation like this. So the last thing is show up. And as you show up, what you're doing is you're shifting her experience of you. And she's going to say in her head that, what happened to him? This time he didn't convince me. This time he didn't beg me. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. He was like this. He was like that. And she's going to compare the two experiences. And when there is a new experience, there is a slight shift that happens within all of us. And that's how she will allow you to connect with her more and more. She'll allow you to connect with her more and more. Just to sum up the whole experience through a story of one of our awesome husbands, the only thing that he had in his marriage with which he can connect with his wife is their dog. So his only condition that he had during this divorce process, the first agreement before they went to the court, is that he is allowed to meet their dog, I think, once a month. The dog was with her, and she said yes. And she would come, give the dog to him. He would play with the dog, feed that dog, give something to her to give it to the dog, and then he will come back. That was the only place. He was blocked everywhere. There was, I think, the email was open, but he was blocked everywhere else. That was the only place. But because of this learning, preparing, and showing up, his wife started coming closer to him to an extent that the second, right now, as I'm recording this video, the second date that they had for there is a second decree. So there is a second date that they had for finalizing the divorce. She just skipped it. She just skipped that date. She's not even talking about it, and they're connecting every day. So that is the power of learning, preparing, and showing up. So that's all for this video. If you are part of the Awesome Husbands Hub, I want you to go to the comment section, hashtag AHHub, write that and write your comment. And if you're not part of the Awesome Husbands Hub, I invite you to join this amazing hub by attending the masterclass first. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead, subscribe to this channel. If you like this video, click on the like button and press that bell icon so that the next time when I put up a video, you get to know it first. If there is somebody you think will benefit from this video, then please share this video with that person. I'll see you in the next video with a new topic. Until then, keep your love story alive. Bye-bye.